one of their worst defeats against Argentina back in the Copa Roca, 6-1 loss in 1940. And then one of their biggest wins only 5 years later in 1945, Brazil beat Argentina 6-2. Always in this fantastic competition, which has been tweaked a little bit.
Sergio Romero, the goalkeeper. New competition in camp. Nahuel Guzman was brought in. In fact, Gerardo Martino, while he's kept much of Sabella's look, has brought in a few new faces. Roberto Pereira, the ex-River, now Juve player, getting his debut in the starting lineup. We'll go through the lineups in just a minute, but there were a couple of late changes. For Argentina, Eric Lamela stepping in for Javier Pastore. Well, David Luiz getting the call on the back line as we listen to the national anthems. Two sides making their way past the referees, obviously an all Chinese crew. Fang Qi, the man in the middle, 43-year-old veteran, a policeman in his spare time. Might need to use some of that training here today. Ho and Mu down the line, and Wang Xie, the fourth official. Angel Di Maria. What a burst forward it has been for him, and he'll be taking on this Brazil lineup that once again sees Jefferson in goal.
Yeah, and Elias, Luis Gustavo, the two holding midfielders right in front of that four-man backline with Danilo Miranda, David Luiz, and Felipe Luiz. And up front, Diego Tardelli playing in the false nine role. Now, the old coach Scolari was set with a target man up front. And now, Diego Tardelli is going to play the false nine role. But for Argentina, Gerardo Martino opting to go with Lionel Messi and Kun Agüero in a 4-4-2. Those two will be the two strikers up front. Messi playing off of Agüero. Very offensive midfielder with Eric Lamela, Roberto Pereira. Mascherano will do the dirty work right in front of the back line. And Angel Di Maria, the Manchester United winger, is going to be as influential as ever. Watch out for Roberto Pereira making his debut in this one, the Juventus midfielder. Very versatile player, great work rate. I'm expecting him to help the defense as well, and also shore up some of the weakness on the flanks, not allowing these great Brazilian wingers to do much damage. That's the idea, at least, for Martino.
Just about ready for the kickoff here, and as you take a look, it is a rather full bench. As you mentioned, Dunga looking to the past a bit, Robinho and Kaká. Felipe Coutinho also available. Meanwhile, on the other side, mentioned Nahuel Guzman, probably here just to experience more than anything. Roncalia getting a chance to earn his spot back, and Javier Pastore, who has been off to a good start with PSG, getting a chance to impress for Gerardo Martino. He had initially been in the starting lineup, but replaced by Eric Lamela. David Luiz, the iconic center back, but now paired with João Miranda, with Thiago Silva still recovering from injury. Fernandinho also injured. He'd been playing quite a bit of late, a hamstring pull. Meanwhile, Lucas Bilha, who had earned a spot in the midfield, out with a foot injury, so unavailable here today. The opening kickoff underway as Fan blows the whistle. Argentina in the familiar albiceleste, the sky blue and white. And quickly in the attack, pushing it forward, and the shot just rolls wide. Launched for Agüero, and he almost drew blood in the opening seconds.
You know, what a start for Argentina right away. Kun Agüero looking to make the run in the back of the defense's shoulder and gets free. Seems like it was onside. Great control to get it down, but David Luiz recovers well. Let's take another look at it. It was offside as well. Kun Agüero just about a few inches past the defense.
Looked as though the flag had come up, just starting to as we cut away from the replay. Good work by the camera and tape crew, and this a bit of a concern, although hopefully nothing serious. A bit of a limp for Neymar at the top of the screen. His club compatriot Mascherano on opposite sides today. Look away pass from Eric Lamela. Frustrating debut for Spurs, now starting to come into his own. Neymar with defense against his superstar teammate, knocks it free. Little collision on the far side. Brazil will get the restart.
And the fullbacks for Argentina urged to push forward right away. Zabaleta and Marcos Rojo will be looking to make those overlapping runs throughout the match. Could leave the back line exposed. Not the fleetest of foot there. Martin de Michelis and Federico Fernandez.
A little collision in the midfield. Sees Lamela get a talking to. Kind of interesting, a Chinese referee. One side speaks Portuguese, the other Spanish. I can almost guarantee you that all the conversation is being done in English, as the PA announcements were before the match, giving you an interesting look into the global nature of this game. Back for De Michelis. Still in favor. Sabella plucked him out of mothballs to some success, carried over to Manchester City as well. Had been some thought that Martino might look elsewhere in this new generation, but hasn't made many drastic changes. Angel Di Maria from long range. The technique just fails at the last touch.
No, Di Maria surveys his passing options, but ultimately decides to take it himself, and he's going to need a really great effort from that distance. Well outside the box. Doesn't do anything to test Jefferson.
Also, speaking of the international nature, the entire Argentine squad based out of Argentina. And for Brazil, only the goalkeeper, Jefferson, and the midfielder, Elias, playing their club ball in Brazil. Luis Gustavo, the Wolfsburg midfielder, dispossessed. Messi slaloming through. David Luiz tries to block him, pushing the pass wide. And you can see Danilo, the newcomer, at that right back spot, a little nervous with Di Maria facing him. If you've watched him for Manchester United lately, you know why. Touched back by Lamela. Here's Mascherano. Pushing forward, Pereira, the debutant, showing no hesitance and draws a foul.
Oh, it's going to be a long day for Elias and Luis Gustavo. You saw before, you know, Messi, how far back he likes to drop to receive the ball and jumpstart the attack. And here Roberto Pereira trying to do something on his own, the Juventus midfielder. He's going to have to impress Gerardo Martino, making his debut. Doesn't have the technique of some of his counterparts at the front, but very hard-working player, industrious. Not really a threat to score goals, though.
Jefferson, heels on the line, pick your poison. Although likely Messi, about to become the all-time leading La Liga scorer. Driving it in off the wall, and Jefferson there to grab the deflection.
Messi just trying to get it over the barrier. Didn't really have a lot of pace behind it, that free kick. It's a good job. Wall does its job. And Messi just trying to go for that near corner to catch Jefferson out.
Taken away. Bursting forward, Tardelli into the box and shepherded back by Mascherano to Romero.
Well, more of a glimpse of Dunga's side, how they differ from the side that Scolari liked to put out. Scolari always wanted that target man up front with Fred, and Diego Tardelli much better with his feet, can run at the defense, much more mobile than Fred.
Still waiting for his first goal, although he doesn't seem to be in too much of a rush. Another difference perhaps from Fred and Joe, the two players that he's trying to replace. Quite content with grabbing the ball and passing it off to Neymar. Here's Di Maria. You could hear ankles snapping on that move. Agüero back. Really seemed to gain that confidence last year at Madrid, and he's taken it to another level. Could have been offside against Agüero, tripped up. Get up, says the referee. Of course, this is the Olympic Village, not that far removed from where the swimming competitions were. Not suggesting it might have been a dive, but Agüero
have to take another look at that. It was Miranda tracking Kun Agüero. And it seems like Kun Agüero went down just a tad easy. Let's take another look at it. I don't know. Actually, Miranda might have gotten the ankle there of Agüero. There was something in it. The referee says no.
The one concern, obviously, Agüero has been battling injuries, significant injuries over the last few years. Now 26 years of age. I think the one real question in regards to how much of a change it will be for Martino compared to Sabella is if Carlos Tevez gets back into the picture. Especially if Agüero gets hurt. You took a look in Brazil. You kind of sense that if they did have a Tevez, they might have had a little bit more of a chance. When Agüero went down, things dried up offensively. Here's Zabaleta. Agüero back for his city mate, but the touch down the line goes awry. Quickly into the attack for Neymar. Stolen away. Di Maria. That little tackle by Mascherano reminds me of the Xabi Alonso line. Said he always found it amusing when he was at Liverpool, where you would hear about the art of tackling. Get to that in a moment as Messi threads the needle for Zabaleta. Aguero on the volley, but he just got under it.
Oh, great job by Messi finding Zabaleta on the flank, making the overlapping run, and Zabaleta does well to pick out Kun Aguero, who's inaccurate here with his volleyed attempt. You know, Zabaleta getting in a very dangerous position, picks out Aguero perfectly, and Aguero trying to hit it first time, really shanks it.
Jefferson de Oliveira Galvão. Took a while to really get a chance. 31 years of age. Just his 12th cap. You kind of figure that Diego Alves might have the leading chance to step in for Julio Cesar, but Jefferson, the best domestic-based keeper.
Interesting to see Di Maria's position here. More of a central midfielder. Started playing more in the midfield under Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, where he played in that side role in a 4-3-3.
Chance for Messi again, finding a burst of speed, but the ball got away. Didn't